पहुंच गए क्लास में। हाँ पहुंच गए। हाँ नोएडा पहुंच गए। हाँ बस स्टार्टिंग में। Hello students, welcome to my live teaching learning session of MMPC 20 Business Ethics and Corporate Social Responsibility, which is known as CSR. Today is the first session of this paper, Business Ethics and CSR. Now, what is the meaning of ethics and what is the meaning of business ethics and how corporate sector perform their duties towards society, towards business organization and for whole community. Ethics. Ethics sets the rules and some moral values that defines what is right and what is wrong, conduct or code of conduct. So ethics is a set of rules that defines right and wrong conduct. And business ethics can be defined as written and unwritten code of principles and values that governs decisions and action within the company. Each and every business enterprises have to follow some business ethical values and they have to do their duties according to the ethical values and set rules of ethics. It is a system of moral principles and value applied to the business activities. Business ethics is an art or science or maintain harmonious relationship with society. At present, the role of ethics is increasing in this contemporary world. Why ethics role is increasing? Ethics role is increasing because people are forgetting their moral values. They want to achieve growth at a very faster rate and they want to achieve more money at the cost of the others. But this is not a perfect rule because our moral values tells us that we should do those activities in which we can take advantage for us without harming any other person or any other thing. That is called ethics. But if we are achieving any advantages at the cost of the other, that is not called by ethics. So ethics set the rules that tells us that what is the right thing and what is the wrong thing. What is the good code of conduct of the business enterprises? This is the introduction of business ethics. So business ethics may be written or may be unwritten code of principles or values which govern the decisions and taking actions regarding any business activities within the company. And it may be as an art, business ethics is an art also and a science also because it is very necessary for maintaining the harmonious relationship with whole society. Business ethics, it influences the values and beliefs upon the conduct and operation of businesses. That is called business ethics. Next is business ethics and social responsibility. As we have discussed that ethics means the rules that tells us the difference between the right and wrong, what is the thing which is right and what is the difference between right and wrong, they encourage us to do right thing, not wrong thing. What is ethical behavior? Ethical behavior is the code of conduct that conforms to ethics or moral values, individual beliefs, and social standard about what is right and what is good for the whole society, for us, and for whole world. Values tells us what is the important thing. They help us to make decisions about right and wrong. Sometimes people are confused about what is the thing that is right for them and what is the thing that is wrong for them. So, ethics tells us, ethical behavior tells us what is the right and wrong, the difference between these two things, and what should we do for the benefit of whole this society. And moral values also set some rules we use to decide what is good or bad. Next is corporate social responsibility. Now, what is the meaning of CSR? At present, most of the corporate sector are engaged in this social responsibility field because they are doing much better for whole the society, and CSR is corporate social responsibility. It means the response of the corporate sector towards society. A company concerns and commitment towards society, sustainability, and development. This is the most important commitment of the business corporate sector towards society, that all country people live in a sustainable manner and our economy should develop at a very faster rate. So CSR is the ethical behavior of company towards society. An idea where the company integrate economic, social, and environmental concerns in their business operation, that is called corporate social responsibility. And at present, near about all corporate sector, 2% of their total earning or 2% of their profit they must have to spend for the welfare or well-being of the whole society. And this is universally fixed by the all country people or all countries main corporate sectors, that each and every corporate sector should pay for the society because they are taking more advantages from the society, so they have a duty towards the whole society that they should do some good work, good moral, they have some moral values and they use these moral values for benefiting the whole society. That is called corporate social responsibility. Next is, now what is the difference between business ethics and CSR? As we have discussed that business ethics sets some rules and values according to the business operations or business activities. The whole encompassing behavior of businesses is called business ethics. And CSR is an element of business ethics. It's a part of or it's a main component of business ethics. Business ethics is the very broad field to study concerning good ethical decisions making in commercial context. And CSR is narrow concept because it is a part of business ethics. It is a component or an element of business ethics. That's why CSR is a narrow concept about a company's social obligations, that is, a company's obligation to society in general. Business ethics is concerned will not just social obligations but also obligations to employees, customers, suppliers, and competitors. And CSR is about the extent to which companies owe something to society in a large number. Those who do not have a direct involvement with the business, CSR play very important role for those persons also. Business ethics is more about good or bad. Business ethics tells us that what is the good thing, what is the right thing, differentiate between good and right, good and bad, right and wrong, conduct according to moral standards. And CSR integrating all values like economic, social, and environmental targets in a one strategy. So, in this way, we can differentiate between business ethics and CSR. But both the concepts are interrelated also because CSR is an element of business ethics. That's why it is also depends upon business ethics. So we can't make too much differentiation between these two concepts because sometimes they are interrelated with each other. Next is business ethics and social responsibility. Now, business ethics sets some principles and standards that define acceptable conduct in businesses. And social responsibility means that each and every business has some social duties, social responsibility towards whole society people. A business obligation is to maximize its positive impact and minimize its negative impact on society. That is called social responsibility. We know that each and every business entrepreneurs engaged in productive activities. So while doing production, you know that environmental always degraded. But if business perform their social responsibility in a good way, then environmental degradation can be minimized and the positive impact of the business activities can be maximized. So every business should try to maximize its positive impact on society and minimize its negative impact on society. This is called social responsibility. Now, next is CSR has some different aspects like corporate social responsibility. It can be classified into three categories. One is internal areas of responsibility. Next is middle areas of responsibility. And third is external areas of responsibility. It means corporate sector can do their social responsibility towards whole society in the basis of these three classifications like internal areas of responsibility in which market responsibility, economic efficiency, legal compliances without any loopholes, without any hurdles or limitations. That is called internal areas of responsibility because efficiency exists in an internal area. If market uh, fully utilize all the available resources in an efficient way, then consumer and producer surplus both will be held. In this way, a corporate sector can perform its corporate social responsibility in an internal area and legal compliances without any loopholes or problems. Next is middle areas of responsibility. Under this middle area of responsibility, we include values and environmental standards, labor standards, supply chain management, and stakeholders. A corporate has responsibility towards environment. Environment should be protected. Environment should be prevented without any degradation or depletion of environment or other non-renewable resources. Corporate sector should prevent all these things. And labor standard means labor, the relationship between labor and manager should be harmonious so that conflicts will be minimized. And supply chain management manage the product supply according to their demand. It means there should be not any gap exist in between of demand and supply of the product. And for stakeholders, corporate sector has responsibility towards stakeholders or shareholders, that those person who buy their shares on that belief that they will get advantages from that corporate sector. So corporate sector should perform their duty honestly and provide dividend and other benefits to the stakeholders so that whole society get benefit from this uh, business ethics. Next is external areas of responsibility. Corporate sector has some external duties or external responsibilities. For example, like corporate sector can give more contribution for the welfare of the whole society's well-being, and corporate sector can sponsor some social welfare programs, and for social activities corporate sector can perform their duties on moral ground or voluntarily. Next is corporate social responsibility. Uh, why CSR is needed to empower the society? Why corporate social responsibility is important? And why it is needed at present? It's the great need of the whole society that each and every corporate sector should perform their duty honestly towards the whole society. For what purposes behind that? The main purpose of this corporate social responsibility is that it empowers the whole society. It can use the available resources in such a way so each and every resources can be fully utilized without wasting or without uh, uneconomical. If we use economically or in an efficient way all the available resources, then allocative efficiency will exist, and due to existence of this allocative efficiency, consumer and producer both will get advantages. Corporate social responsibility, it can be defined in such a way that it's a long-term process. In this, sincerity also included. It is necessary for whole the market, and it's a main part of business ethics. And the corporate social responsibility towards environment is that we should use all the available resources in such a way so that our present generation needs must be satisfied without compromising the needs of the future generation. That is called sustainable or sustainable development. So corporate social responsibility must be towards environmental protection and for sustainable development. And goal, CSR goal is to minimize the losses of the society and maximize the gains of the whole society. Next is What is the importance of business ethics? How we can say that business ethics play very important role in present world? High ethical performance also protect the individual who work in business. If there is a high ethical performance, then individual rights, individual uh, individual, we can protect individual without harming them, and it also protect the individual who work in the business enterprises. It encourages business firms and their employees to behave ethically is to prevent harm to society. It has far-reaching consequences for businesses, and ethical contribute to profit also. Business ethics are very important for attaining maximum profit of the enterprises, for attaining good relationship between management and labor who work in the business enterprises. And business ethics also encourage business firms and their employees to behave ethically and to behave uh, in such a way so that harmonious relationship must be developed or maintained and to prevent harm to the society. This is the importance of business ethics and ethical areas of corporate social responsibility. As we have discussed that corporate social responsibility has classified into three categories. One is internal area of responsibility, next is middle area of responsibility, third is external area of responsibility. Here we are discussing that what are the ethical areas of corporate social responsibility. There are some ethical areas like it amending the law with regards to the ethical principles and economic rights of free market. Free market, you know that it's a market in which demand and supply play very important role, and we can fix the price of the commodity with the help of demand curve and supply curve. So, ethical areas of corporate social responsibility. In first case, that is amending the law. It means there should be some amendment or some modification on that law with regards to the ethical principles and economic rights of free market, and it enact the law where it is necessary, and it observing the applicability of that law. If law is maintained, if law is made, then it should be implemented also. When general profit may result in violating the generally accepted social norms, companies should restrict their strive to gain profit. It means company should not focus only to gain maximum profit. Company should perform their social responsibility also, because they have to do some, they have some moral values. They should keep in mind that they have to perform not only for getting more advantages from the businesses and more profit from the business, they must have to perform for whole the society, towards the environment, and for whole community. So if any company violate this law, then it should be restricted. They strive to gain only profit. And ethical areas of corporate social responsibility is towards showing respect to the public interest under generally accepted norms, and it perceiving the consequences of taken decisions and accepting responsibility for them. So these are the ethical areas of CSR. Now next is aims of CSR. What is the objective or what is the goal of CSR? You know that CSR main goal is to prevent the environment from pollution, And environmental aim means if environment is protected and if we are producing more goods without harming the environment, that is the main aim of this CSR. Second is social and community activities. For whole society, for whole people, corporate social responsibility main aim is to do much better for whole society people so that their standard of living, their well-being will increase and all country people should live happily life without any conflicts, without any hurdles or loopholes. Third is sustainable development. You know that sustainable development is that development in which present generation needs and future generation needs both can be satisfied without any compromisation of future generation. And if you know that there are two types of resources which is given by God, that is natural resources. Natural resources are those resources which can be classified into two parts. One is renewable resources and other is non-renewable resources. Renewable resources can be regenerated, can be further made according to the need of the country. But non-renewable resources can't be regenerated, can't be remade. So we should use economically or sustainably all available non-renewable resources so that our present generation needs and future generation needs both can be satisfied without any compromisation. That is the concept of sustainable development. Now, ethical issues set some values, some moral values or rules that what is the right thing and what is the wrong, what is good and what is bad for the society. It explains these things. And business relations for better business improvement or better business activities, it should be exist a good relationship between management and labor or employees who work in that business enterprises. If there is a good relationship, there is a harmonious relationship, there is no conflict arises, then business will definitely gain advantages and business will earn maximum profit and business can spend more money on the welfare of the whole society. Next is four elements of CSR. There are four elements of corporate social responsibility, and these elements are: number one is workplace. Corporate social responsibility at workplace is to maintain good mental health of the employees or workers. Suitable working conditions or healthy atmosphere should be provided for the workers or employees so that they can work freely without any restrictions, without any conflicts, and without any disturbances. And suitable working conditions for those who are disabled or who are not physically good. So if working conditions are suitable for those person who are uh, some disability, so that is also the main duty of corporate sector. Next is diversity and inclusion. Corporate social responsibility must be diversified, not only in one particular area. If a corporate is spending money for improving the educational level, then not only education, corporate sector can spend money on health and other well-being of the social community, and other aspects can also be included in corporate social responsibility. And supportive environment and policies for parents. So this is the corporate social responsibility at workplace. Now, for whole the community, what is the corporate social responsibility for whole community people? For whole community people, corporate sector can support local area initiatives, create internal clubs and societies, supportive social networks, easy to use internal uh, common processes. And towards environment, what is the duty of the corporate sector? Green initiative. It means a corporate sector should use green technology, eco-friendly technology that will not harm the environment without harming the environment. If a corporate sector is producing more, that is very good way for whole the society and for the atmosphere. Next is recycling facility should be available, sustainability policies and giving back to the local environment. It means if a corporate sector is making that type of policy which is sustainable development achievement policies and uh, which helps to attain this sustainable development, that is definitely for good of the environment. Next is social issues. Next element is social issues. It means that corporate sector can make charity day policies, fundraising events like some social events like blood donation camp and any other fundraising events can organize by the corporate sector, through which fund can raise and that fund can use for well-being of the whole society. Supporting charities, raising awareness about social issues that are important to employees. So these are the four elements of corporate social responsibility. Now next is ethics. What are the various types of ethics? Ethics has these four types. One is normative ethics, next is social ethics, next is professional ethics, and next is personal ethics. It means ethics is not concerned with only business only. Ethics is concerned with personal, ethics is concerned with social, ethics is concerned with professional, and ethics is concerned with normative. Normative means ideal, in which what should we do? It tells us about what ought to be or what should be. It always tells us what is the right thing for solving any problem. So, normative ethics tells us what should be and what ought to be. For example, if we are saying that population is increasing, then normative ethics tells us that if population is increasing, then it will create so many problems. Then what should we do? The population should be controlled. If we are saying that unemployment is increasing, then normative ethics will tell us that unemployment, uh, to solve this problem, government should encourage or government should start some employment generating programs and uh, encourage more employment opportunities so that country people can get employment. So normative ethics tells us what should be or what ought to be. Social ethics tells us that we should do our best for whole the society people without harming whole society. We should do any business activity and any other thing, but not harming the society. Or if we can improve social welfare of the country people, it tells us uh, in social ethics. And professional ethics tells us that we should make a good relationship with the workers and managers so that conflicts will be minimized and good relationship will encourage uh, more presence of the workers in their enterprises. And if all employees will present and work in a good way or good better conditions provide in an enterprises, then definitely work will increase, their efforts will increase, and business enterprises will gain advantages or benefits. Like profit will increase and whole country people will also get benefited. And personal ethics tells us that we should do uh, good for the country, and personal ethics tells us some sets of rules that we should always follow the right thing and we should avoid the bad thing. We should always choose good and avoid bad, and we should go on the path of right and avoid the wrong path, so that we can live better life and we can do much better for whole the society without harming or without exploitation of any other individual person. So these are the four types of ethics: normative, social, professional, and personal. Next is benefits of CSR. You know that CSR is very good for whole the society, for whole community, for whole world. It has so many benefits, like it increases in customer retention. Customer will retain and customer will always buy product from that corporate sector which is providing good quality product and at a minimum price. uh, then customer will definitely engaged in that business activity and increase in customer retention. This is the first benefit of CSR. Next is saving money on energy and operating cost. If we want to save money on energy and operating cost, then we should follow the corporate social responsibility. It differentiating yourself from the competitor. It enhancing your influence in the industry. Next benefit is access to funding opportunities. It provides fundraising opportunities which can be used for the welfare of the whole community. It is the media interest and good reputation. Corporate social responsibility: if a company is performing their social responsibility towards whole society, then its goodwill will increase in whole world or in a country. And if goodwill will increase, that is the main thing for corporate sector. Next is attracting, retaining, and maintaining a happy workforce. If you want to attract customers, if you want to attract employees, and you want to retain that employees in your business enterprises, and if you want to maintain a happy workforce, then corporate sector must perform their social responsibility. It enhances the relationship with stakeholders also. And winning new businesses, if you want to open up new businesses in different field, or you can diversify your business enterprises only with the help of CSR. So CSR can give so many benefits. Next is social responsibility versus corporate social responsibility. Now, what is the difference between social responsibility and corporate social responsibility? Social responsibility means responsibility of individuals and social entities such as organizations and companies to act in such a way to get benefit their environment and society as a whole. And corporate social responsibility is that responsibility of business enterprises to ensure that their business processes do not harm the environment and the society and benefiting the society and protecting the environment. Social responsibility used in general sense, but corporate social responsibility used in business context. Social responsibility main aim is to ensure that the individual or social entity do not harm but benefit to the society. It aims corporate social responsibility. Main aim is to include the benefit to company in addition to societal and environmental benefits. Apart from profit motive, corporate sector should perform their duties towards society and environment. Social responsibility involve individual or a social entity, but corporate social responsibility involve corporate business companies. So this is the difference between social responsibility and corporate social responsibility. Now next is company ethics values template. Companies' ethics values can be classified into these five parts. One is environmental initiatives, in which we should reduce the use of plastic in daily life. At present, we should reduce the use of plastic because if we use more plastic, it is not eco-friendly, it will degrade the environment. So we reduce plastic use daily. That is the environmental initiative according to this ethical rules. And labor standard tells us that avoided work safety regulations, that work safety or good atmosphere, healthy atmosphere, good working conditions should be maintained in each and every business enterprises. That is called labor standard. Next is gender balance. It means there should be not any discrimination between man and woman. There should be parity or at par wage, and workplace should be based on parity or equality. That is the company ethics, uh, at which point gender balance. Next is community relations. Community relations, in this fundraisers for local initiative. In this, fund should be raised for benefit of the local people. And charity projects supports uh, to those families who are living below poverty line and who are needed, and those families who are in need. So corporate sector, uh, company has some business ethics that company should do for charity and to support those families who are in need of that help. So these are the five elements of company ethics values. Next is types of CSR. You know that ethics types is four, like professional ethics, personal ethics, normative ethics, and environmental ethics, social ethics. Sorry. Next is types of CRR. Same as CSR also has three types. One is ethical CSR. It's about the responsibility to avoid harms or social injuries. Next is altruistic CSR, which contributing to the common good at the possible expenses of the business enterprises for altruistic, humanitarian, or philanthropic causes for social welfare. Uh, Altruistic CSR mainly contribute for whole the society and all the expenses bear by company. And strategic CSR, it's about firm's social welfare responsibility that benefit both the corporation and stakeholders. So these are the three types of corporate social responsibility. One is ethical CSR, second is altruistic CSR, and third is strategic CSR. Now, next is objectives of CSR. You know that CSR main aim is to maximize the company's outrun and impact to the society and stakeholders, and to give back to the community in the fast possible way in return to the resources. If you are gaining a benefit from the whole society, then it's your moral duty that you should pay for that society also. that you should do good for whole the society, and to create awareness about the company and build its public profile, and to support various campaigns on social and development issues that need to support to have a greater impact. That is the main objectives of CSR. Next is 3 C's of business ethics. What is the meaning of 3 C's? There are three concepts of C like comply, consequences, contribution. These 3 C's of business ethics must perform in each and every business enterprises for the well-being of the whole society. First is comply. This comply is apart from laws of the land, moral principles, customs, and communities' expectations. It is necessary to comply with other rules and regulations. It means business ethics tells us some other rules and regulations which is beyond that the formal rules which is set by the government. And contribution, it means business ethics tells us that each and every business should contribute to towards all the society by producing high quality products and services of good value. Next is consequences. Consequences means results. Business ethics consequences can be of any type, intended or unintended, internal or external, caused by the business. So these are the three concepts of C's are under business ethics. One is comply, second is contribution, and third is consequences. Now next is reason, 11 reasons why business ethics is important. Why business ethics is important in present world. First of all, business ethics is important because it prevents malpractices. Malpractices are those practices in which exploitative behavior exists. If some middleman or some higher income people exploiting poor people and lower category people, that is called malpractices. And if they are doing wrong thing with others, that is called malpractices. And business ethics is important to prevent these malpractices. And improved confidence, business ethics is necessary for improving the confidence level of the business enterprises. It is very necessary for the survival and for the growth of the business enterprises. It protects the consumers' right. It develops good relationship with society. It is very necessary for increasing the goodwill of the business enterprises. It protects employees and other stakeholders. It increases the healthy competition in business world. For smooth functioning of the business enterprises, business ethics play a very important role. For customer satisfaction, business ethics is very necessary. And to for the engagement of the employees and reduce absenteeism in workplace, business ethics is very important. So these are the 11 reasons which tells us that why business ethics are very important. So business ethics is very important for these reasons. Next is importance of business ethics. Business ethics helps the organization to protect their reputation. Business ethics is needed to make business activities fair and reasonable for consumers. Business ethics is especially important in dealing with customers, including customer services and customer issues. Business ethics help the organization in determining the obligations and duties towards individual and the group outside the organization. Next is ethics and globalization. What is the relationship between ethics and globalization? Business transactions, in different countries, in different languages, and in different culture, inevitably force North American companies to revisit ethical principles. Business ethics, not play important role in India only. It play very important role globally because at present we are moving towards globalization. India has followed globalization uh, in 1991 in new economic policy of LPG, and at present we are living in globalization world. So business ethics play very important role in all over the world, not only in a particular country, because business transactions in different countries, in different languages, in different culture inevitably force North American companies to revisit ethical values or principles. You know that there are three types of countries. One is less developed countries, more developed countries, and medium developed countries or developing countries. Less developed nations are those nations which have lacked the economic, social, and technological infrastructure of a developed nation. And developed nations are those who enjoy a very high standard of living as measured by economic, social, and technological criteria. And what is the meaning of globalization? Globalization is the connection of different parts of the world, resulting in the expansion of international, cultural, economic, and political activities. It is the movement and integration of goods and people among different countries. In simple words, globalization increases the integral relationship with rest of the world. Strategies for improving global business ethics. What are the main strategies? How we can improve global business ethics? If we create corporate global codes of conduct, then we can improve global business ethics, integrate ethics into a global strategy, suspend activities in host country, and create ethical impacts, statements, and audits. These all things can help for the improvement of global business ethics. Next is sustainability ethics. Sustainability ethics is a new discipline that analyzes the issue regarding our moral obligations to future generation with respect to the environment. Not only economic growth and economic development is very important concept at present, sustainable development, sustainability in ethics is very important aspect of the business ethics. Next is the ethics of sustainability. How we can achieve this sustainability through this business ethics. You know that ethics of sustainability tells us that meeting human needs in a socially just manner without disenfranchising ecosystem health, and if we can satisfy all the generation needs without any compromisation, that is called sustainability in ethics. The vulgar sustainability tells us that if we exploit all the available resources in a very rapid way, like if we use environmental badly technologies, less efficiency, and more consumerism, if we promote waiting for experts and perfectly adequate, this is not desired, and that is not good for the sustainability or achievement of the sustainable development. But virtuous sustainability is exploit as little as necessary to maintain a meaningful life. If we exploit as much as desired without infringing on future ability to exploit as much as desired, that is the concept of vulgar sustainability. But if we exploit as little as necessary to maintain a meaningful life, that is virtuous sustainability. That is tells us by ethics. It improves the relationship. It empowers the economy. Personal responsibility will also increase, and too lofty to expect. It is very good for the society. Next is code of ethics. What are the various codes of ethics? There are different codes of ethics like be responsible, student, journalist, are custodian, not honor of their news media. So be responsible towards whole society. At your workplace, you should be responsible towards your duties, towards your work. Be fair. Be fair means begin the search for truth with a neutral mind, without any bias, without any discrimination. You should be fair for each and every one. Be honest. Do not plagiarize. Quote properly. Do not fabricate. Next code of conduct is be accurate. Accuracy is often more than just a question of getting the fact right. Be independent. Do not compromise journalistic independence, journalistic ethics, or objectivity in the reporting task at hand. Minimize harm. Look beyond the likely impact of each story, keeping alert to identity and respond to any unintended or undesirable consequences the story may hold in the shadow. And be accountable. Admit mistakes. You should admit your mistakes. If you are doing any mistake, you should accountable for that. And publicize, promote corrections. These are the code of conducts of ethics. Ethics in education. Ethics also play very important role in education also. Ethics play education very important role in education. Ethics are interpreted as the discipline of dealing with good and bad, with commitment and moral duties. Ethics are well established level that make the measure of right and wrong. Ethics impact the behavior and permit an individual to make the right options. And each and every student must be honest, must be confident, and the conflict of interest must be reduced. And your main responsibility to a student is negotiated by engaging priorities. Conflict of interest can display in a variety context and for several various reasons. And responsibility, along with all the ethics like honesty, confidentiality, and conflicts of interest. Responsibility is also one of the vital ethics in education. The students' responsibility take place when students take an energetic part in their studying by acknowledging they are responsible for their academic success. So ethics in education also play a very important role. Now, for stakeholders, managers, and ethics, organizational effectiveness depends upon that how much duty, moral values are doing from the business enterprises uh, on behalf of stakeholders, managers, for the interest of stakeholders, managers, and ethics. An organization is used simultaneously by various stakeholders to achieve their goals. Like stakeholders want to attain maximum return on their investment. Customer want product reliability and product value. Employees want good compensation for their work and good working conditions and career prospects. And suppliers want to get good quality of raw material, effective supply chain. So each stakeholder group is motivated to contribute to the organization, and each organization should also perform their duties ethically or honestly. This is the organizational effectiveness towards stakeholders, managers, and ethics. Next is effective ethics program helps us to ensure that all the employees understand the organizational values and comply with the policies and codes of conduct that create its ethical climate. It can't assume that employees will know how to behave when entering an organization. Business ethical dilemmas. There are four dilemmas like conflicts of interest, whistleblowing, honesty and integrity, loyalty versus truth. These are ethical challenges which arises time to time, but uh, we should prevent uh, the interest of the whole society from these four challenges. Business ethics, what is it is business ethics an oxymoron? Oxymoron is the combination of contradictory or incongruous words like cruel kindness. It should be clinically about the potential for ethical actions in today's business. Next is oxymoron is the combination of two contradictory terms such as deafening silence or jumbo shrimp. So this is the ethical crisis. Is business ethics an oxymoron or not? The two dominant model is business ethics has two dominant model. One is normative, other is descriptive. Now conclusion from the today's session, business ethics and CSR, we can conclude that ethics are broadly described in the literature as moral principles about right and wrong, good and bad, honorable behavior, reflecting values, standards, code of conducts, honesty, openness, responsiveness, accountability, and due diligence and fairness are the core of ethical principles. And business ethics tells us about moral right and wrong. So each and every business entrepreneurs must follow these business ethics and they must perform their duties according to their corporate social responsibilities criteria.